probably the biggest piece of news, one of the biggest pieces of news, that's probably even been more rumor than news over the past week, has been the work shoot, rivalry between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. We saw it kind of play out in the title swap.
That's my fault.
No problem. Last week on SmackDown, there was all sorts of reports over the weekend about Charlotte didn't talk to Vince and just left the building, and Charlotte was escorted out of the building last week via security, and Charlotte has no friends in the back, and everybody's on Team Becky, and good God, some of the directions that this story took, over the weekend, were pretty wild. But it was an awkward segment on SmackDown, to say the least. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you think there's actual heat there? There's actual dislike and hatred there? Or do you think it's the puppeteer is at work and getting everybody talking about
it? I think what happened in the ring, and the powers that be said, let's roll with this. We'll leak it out a little bit, and your Meltzers are going to run with it, and Meltzers will chew it up and just spit it out into the mouth of their followers. And here we are today talking about it. I think it is. I don't know if she purposely threw the belt down, whatever. If it slipped out of her hand, I don't freaking know. But it happened, so let's make a story out of it. It's hot. People are talking.
Becky, so I watched the segment. Did anyone else watch the segment?
I did.
Yes, of course we did. We're talking about it.
Becky slapped the title out of her hand.
You watched a different segment. I didn't see that. Also, fuck just switching championships. That's fucking stupid.
But also, the Street Profits and the New Day did it literally the year before, with no drama.
Right, just in the back.
It was literally yo, we're gonna do our thing over here.
I'm the SmackDown champion. You're the Raw champion. There you go.
We're good. Let's just keep doing our thing and switch titles. Bip bap doom. Whatever. Instead, it's Becky's I want, give me the belt. And Charlotte's I guess. And she's got the title. And there was this whole swap the titles at the same time. And Becky didn't want to let go of her title. And Charlotte didn't want to let go of hers. So then Becky tried to reach over, get the title out of Charlotte's hand. So she hits the title out of her hand. So Charlotte drops the title. She picks it up. She hands it to Sonya Deville. And then instead of handing her title, her being Becky, pronouns pal.
There you go.
Instead of Becky handing the title to Sonya, Becky throws her title at Charlotte. And Charlotte, she catches it, but not really. And then kind of just moves her arm and the title hits the floor. If anything, if watching it, Becky's the one that's at fault, not Charlotte.
You would say that.
Becky's being the in the segment, Becky is the instigator. Now, is she instigating because Charlotte doesn't want to do it? And she's oh, Charlotte's going to hold the title, so I got to move this along. I got to bump the title off her. And even if this is a narrative driven by the WWE, this is doing no one any favors. The storylines are already being written of Charlotte going to AEW.
Which, I mean, if the rumor is true, or the news is true, that she has years, somewhere between 2 and 3 left on her deal. That was the numbers that I saw over the weekend. There's no way WWE's cutting her loose, right? Like, I think WWE would be far more intent on just paying her to sit at home and take gym selfies with Andrade and beach pictures and vacation pictures than cutting her loose and having her go to AEW. Because if you cut her loose, that's what's happening. Now, whether or not she has years left on her deal is none of us really know. But like, there's no way they're cutting her loose, right? Like,
well, what does Sean Ross Sapp say about this?
I think
he would know.
He would know. I think he's the one that I saw say that it's years.
All right, I trust Sean. In Sean, I trust.
In Sean, I trust. So like, I don't think she's going anywhere. I don't think that's I mean, Devin says, I think it's interesting. It's getting people to talk about WWE, plain and simple.
But are they like? I get the whole like bad press is like press. Any press is good press. But we're literally talking about like.
We're talking about professional wrestlers that are having a beef with each other, and we would like to see that settled in the ring. I don't know. Raw versus SmackDown. I always had a pay-per-view where they would do that. I don't know.
Come on, they don't do that sort of thing.
It just seems, I don't know. I might be dead wrong.
Right, but it's also like two of the most privileged WWE superstars. They just come off as like whiny babies.
Right, like it wasn't a good look for either of them.
It's like two kids playing over the same toy.
And I get
Becky's already done the Becky 2-belt thing, so I don't want her to stand here and have to do that in front of me again as Charlotte Flair. Charlotte doesn't. I don't know. It's all a work, I think.
I think.
Poorly designed. If it is a work,
I think it's more. I think. And here's the thing. We've all been in work environments where we've had disagreements and disputes and not gotten along with some people all the time.
Work environments, Jim, or work environments?
Wink. But so there may be a degree of, dispute, hurt feelings, whatever, between the two. So there may be some shoot to the work, but I think it's more work than shoot. And I think it's like it almost does seem too convenient that this is all coming right around Survivor Series time and all of that. But the segment was awkward as shit. I really didn't think that they were going to just do a title swap. I really didn't. Why the hell are the two coming out in their ring gear if you're going to just title swap? Because even when they were coming out, I'm like, oh, we're going to get a short match and one of them's going to walk away with both belts or something. And then, nope, we're just going to do an awkward title swap. And then Sasha Banks is going to come out with like 38 seconds to the cutoff at the end of SmackDown. And like Becky's just like, I'm out. Like the segment wasn't done well at all.
It's almost like they could have done the segment, had a dose belt. Somebody, I don't know, if you had a briefcase to cash in and take that belt. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. You
might be. I think they don't have a briefcase thing, Ryan.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The hell? Get your head out of your ass.
I'm sorry. I'll try harder.
But yeah, I definitely don't. It's certainly not as big of a situation that it turned into over the weekend, but
you just have to say, I'm sorry that upsets you, and you move on.
That's how it works.
That
is exactly.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That is exactly how it works. But I also think that, and I don't think, unfortunately, I don't think they will, but like this would have been a perfect opportunity to take the Raw and SmackDown names off of the women's titles, and just rebrand the titles or something. Almost anything would have been better than what happened on
what do you rebrand them? Women champion blue, women champion red,
the WWE Women's Champion and the Universal Women's Champion.
Like you literally,
that's fair,
right? Like it's literally built in. You have a women's world and a women's universal.
And then you can do the
Okay.
exact same thing with the SmackDown titles.
Yeah.
The tag titles, the WWE tag team titles, and the Universal tag team
So
titles.
there could be a show where the Universal and a World Champion do coexist. A women's world, a men's Universal.
Correct.
Okay. So blue doesn't have to be Universal.
Right.
Or okay. All right.
Yeah,
That's
they don't
fine.
have to have the colors on them.
That's also a really fair point.
But yeah, it you know, I think it, like I said, both the stories got really goofy over the weekend, and some of like the rumors that were
Whatever
coming
happened to Bronze Saudi Arabia Championship? One with the sword on it.
The green belt.
customs.
Oh, got it.
Fox and USA.
I don't want to be the USA. I like that. But yeah, I you know, we'll see how things progress. But yeah, the Charlotte, like somebody actually made a really good Photoshop though. There was like a gym selfie of Andrade and Charlotte that like she had a WWE hat on, he had an AEW hat, and somebody photoshopped the AEW logo onto Charlotte's hat. And like one person got just like one corner of the AEW logo. If you looked really close, you could see. But it was a really good Photoshop job that I saw going around.
So it doesn't sound like it was a really good Photoshop job.
I mean, how many people are like opening and zooming in on pictures to check them?
How many people are taking AEW logos and putting them on Charlotte's effing hat?
Apparently, at least one person.
I guess more time than I suppose.
Certainly. Finally, one final thing before we close this thing out is midnight is Wyndham Day. Bray Wyatt, his 90-day non-compete comes up. Where do you guys think?
Midnight tonight.
Yeah, I believe it's midnight tonight. I think Thursday, is the final day of his non-compete because he tweeted out yesterday 2 days. So I'm taking Wednesday and Thursday are the final 2 days of non-compete. And I saw a tweet from like a movie studio or like a horror studio guy that has been working with Wyndham. So I would expect there's going to be a video release of some kind over the weekend. But where do you guys think he ends up?
I think we're going to see the runaway Bray Wyatt in AEW.
Matt.
AEW is still the most likely.
Jason says hopefully he goes to ROH. That's a long time.
That's why they released all the other contracts.
Man,
I don't want.
him.
So I think that Bray Wyatt's going to find himself in some sort of prison that he's going to have to break himself out of. I think there's some.
What do you think his destination will be? Unknown.
Ruby.
That'll be
Soho.
stuck in my head. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jim.
I also think that Josiah Williams will be there for some reason. Very shrimpy doctor. A guy who's purchasing him from said doctor. I think. I don't know if that was a purchase for Buddy Matthews. Honestly, serious question. Like seriously, he goes to AEW.
Did Buddy ever get out of jail? Whatever happened? He got out.
He
just got out of jail. Was it? And I'm out of jail.
He was released. Well, no, there was another video where he was like brought to a drop to be transferred to another person who specifically asked for like his medical release.
Oh.
And then he freed Buddy Matthews into the world. I'm
So
very
is he
sad.
like working anywhere? Or
Buddy Matthews? Like
he
Still
just out of-
finding his way there?
is he just out of prison? Devin says AEW.
no, he was literally just at PPW. I think.
Oh, yes. I'm
yeah, he's
talking like on a
he's in
major
Indies.
scale.
Is he working with any of like the major companies on TV?
Yeah, he's on indies. Yeah.
I believe there was something about
He did Battlefield too as well, I think, in Philly.
yeah, I thought that there was something
Devin says he's interested in seeing where Wyndham goes and what he does.
he is going to be at New Japan Strong.
Okay.
New Japan, okay.
Yeah, he's going to
I
be at
think
New
he fits-
Japan of
he
America
fits
in
great
San Jose.
with that.
Yeah.
I think Wyndham. I feel like it's either going to be AEW or he ends up back in the WWE. Like I just don't think there's anywhere else that fits a character that he's going to portray. Like it's Tim and I were talking. If you go to the Patreon, but we were talking like he's not like a, and this isn't a shot at any of the other companies, but like he's a big screen character. He's a big arena character. Like I don't see Wyndham Rotunda or whatever character he's going to be at the Impact Studios in front of 25 people or whatever their crowd.
Did you think you'd see the Kiss Demon at the Impact Studios, Jim?
I certainly did not, Ryan.
Huh?
I certainly.
So you've been surprised before. That's all you're saying.
I have been surprised before. You are correct.
I'm just saying.
Jeez. Jason says, I think Bray will be the special guest referee for the Bischoff versus Khan match. It'll be a Ted Turner's Love on a Pole match.
That's a whole different conversation too about
Eric
Bischoff's horrible takes on Tony Khan.
Bischoff and Meltzer have just been going shot for shot for the last week on Twitter. But yeah, I do. I think Wyndham is going to be AEW bound first. Like I just, because I don't think he's going to go right back to WWE right away, if ever. But it's got to be AEW.
I'm excited to see what parts of the Bray Wyatt character AEW or WWE really has like trademarked. I'm assuming "Let Me In" is trademarked.
Yeah, the music.
Music's obviously trademarked. You can do something close. I think AEW. I forget the guy's name. Ruckus. I think something Ruckus does
Mikey
the music
Ruckus.
over there. Fantastic job. I love like the Adam Cole theme. I love the new American Dragon theme. I like what they're doing with a lot of their themes.
Well, I don't think Mikey Ruckus did the Daniel Bryan theme.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I know he did the Adam Cole one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think he does a great job. That's all. The end.
Right. He does do a fantastic job.
Real solid.
It's real good.
I think that charted on like the US metal charts, like number 1 or number 2 on the downloads.
I think they should have mentioned that on commentary.
Did they?
They sure
did they? Oh,
a lot.
They sure
A
did.
lot.
You can tell Ryan's watched a lot of wrestling lately. Oops.
So
And also, like, those charts, really? Like, the
So-
number 2 song is, like, Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. So, it's not a ton of competition up on the metal charts
No,
right now.
It's certainly not.
And, like, 3 is Enter Sandman.
And like, just if that isn't going to get stuck in your head.
Now, this will get a shadow ban. Rancid,
Well,
I think, will
I
definitely
don't-
do that.
First of all, I don't know what that song is because I've never heard that part of the song in AEW because they just decide to start at like the worst part for the entire
Right
song.
in the damn chorus.
Right in it.
Yeah. Elliot Taylor did "Born for Greatness," the Bryan Danielson walkout.
Okay. All right. Solid.
Music.
We're calling it walkout music. All right.
That's what it is officially referred to on Daniel Bryan's Twitter
just
page.
not
at
heard that.
Bryan Danielson walkout.
Yes, that's earwormed already.
Sure is. Like I said, Adam Cole's walkout music and that song from the Burger King commercials. It just
Can I add a
it's
fourth?
a 3-song loop in my head.
Can I add a fourth thing?
Sure.
It's not an earworm, but it's definitely an eye worm. The Inspirations music video for their entrance theme.
When you say entrance theme, do you mean their walkout theme?
Their walkout music, yes.
Their walkout music? I'll have to watch it.
Multiple times.
And then I will send the
It turns me on.
the Mark GIF in the comments.
Yeah, the
The Donald Duck, Daffy Duck.
No, the what is the name of Kyle's dad or Stan's dad? Randy.
Randy
sorry.
Marsh.
The Randy Marsh gif. I don't know what happened. My computer exploded.
Whoever did Bray's theme in WWE will probably do his theme in
So
Well, the new one was
Theory.
the
Code
second
Orange?
theme, Code
Code
Orange did the second theme. The first theme was not Mark Ronson.
Isn't that that guy, right? That's Mark
Mark
Ronson?
Crozer. Mark Crozer did Broken Out in Love.
Gotcha.
I think that they should do his music.
The
I want the
original one?
original. Yes.
Yeah, I want like Hawaiian shirt Bray Wyatt. Cult leader Bray
something-
Wyatt.
I want something completely different.
Really?
Yes.
You want like Mormon Bray Wyatt.
No, I want unfiltered, creatively gifted Wyatt 6 or Wyndham 6 to show up. And
that's the Code Orange, right?
that's
the
Code
good
Orange.
one.
That was the theme.
I think that's too hard. I think he need whatever it is.
I think that Code Orange one was great for the switch to the Fiend.
Oh, it absolutely was.
I mean, that was perfect.
It's a horror movie song.
It is.
You would hear that at the end credits of I still know what you did last summer. That's a banger. But yeah,
That's on the Peacock. You can watch it.
I just cannot wait for someone who's had all of this time of creativity to just sit and think of what to do next and know that the place he's going to go is going to allow him to do it with no handcuffs and
So
Bray,
it's obvious you don't think he's going back to WWE.
Bray paid for the Tom Savini stuff only for WWE to say nah. So now imagine if he gets to do that stuff, but the owner of the company's like, you need some help paying for that Savini stuff?
Right, because I mean,
It's going to be an actual fucking fun house at the AEW. They're going to bring a mobile home to every it's going to be an actual house.
right.
Here at Pete McTee's Playhouse.
The secret word is